This is a poem about my childhood. I wrote it yesterday when I had an LSD flashback. I remembered it all, I had it stored up. It's titled A Day in the Life of a Sweet Young Lady by me, Mamaws. One day when I was a very young lass, I eased my ass on down the lane. I passed the old hag, passed by the pregnant tween. Damn, I can't never remember her name. But of this I firmly knew, my destination in my mind. My mouth began salivating, because I knew round the curve up ahead sat the grown man who was masturbating. Oh, I had dreamt of this day when a woman I'd become, or at least that's what I had in my mind. But when I neared his spot, only a sign I found, saying, "Call again another time." So I plopped down on a log beside the spot he once sat, a divot molded into the grass. I just sat for a while and sadly gave up and tried to stand, but the sticky ground was glued to my big ass. But what sticky substance I knew not. A hefty panic set in, for there was nary a soul in sight, and I wasn't that strong to get my rear free, so I was stuck to that patch all night. At dawn's break came a crow. From the colorful plumage it sang on the fence next to the big rock. I whipped my head around, certain I'd see a red rooster, but instead it was a rather big cock. It belonged to the man who had just yesterday made that divot, which I currently was fastened into. He said, "Pardon me, young lass, but that there's my place." Did I mention he was a big old fucking Jew? He swooped down and ripped me free. The crunching was so loud, the snotty substance that had hardened went to cracking. Then at last he sat down, and out of his pants came his member, and soon he began a-whacking. I had front row seats. My trampy dreams come to life in front of my very own limpid eyes. On and on the show went, up and down he did pump. Then suddenly, very moist became my inner thighs. He said, "It is okay, child, for you still are very young," having seen my embarrassed expression. He then handed me a rag, wet slightly with his spittle. Thus began my lifelong obsession of waiting for sloppy men that I currently screw to climax before I'm done. Sometimes hours and hours I wait bored, slowly losing my entire sex drive. Next week, I'm becoming a full-fledged Catholic nun.